Hello and welcome back. So today I thought we'd do a little update on my little overflow plant room. This used to be my daughter's room, and why I bought a white comforter for in here when I have puppers that like to jump on the bed. So this is what this is, but you know, they're enjoying it and it's washable. So it is what it is. Eventually I want to paint the walls white in here just to reflect the light a little bit better, get a little bit brighter. And instead of doing this when the sun is shining through the windows, I thought I'd do it later in the day. So I waited till I came home from work, and I do have the light on in here, but without the light on, without the light on, it looks like this. It's about 7 p.m. in Colorado. And then this is with the light. I just thought I'd do that just for some additional lighting for you guys. But on here is kind of my mishmash, and I keep my orchid supplies in here. So that's where all my fertilizers and of course more books. I need another bookshelf. My leca, this is the large, the small, which I need to clean some more. There's a nice bag of fresh leca that will be processed this weekend. I have my Epsom salt right there. And then in here I keep my bottled water and my drip pads and my pH up and pH down stuff. So this is just an old entertainment center that I found at the Goodwill to use for right now until I really decide what I want to do. I could use the closet, but the closet has my bark and all that other good stuff in there. So there's that. But let's start over here. So I've just got just your average everyday ivy here, and then my rubber tree plant, which I did repot. I took it apart and it actually had 3 stalks in it, so I gave 2 to 2 of my sister-in-laws, and then I kept 1, thinking of taking it to the office because we need a plant there. The one we had, the doctor watered it a little too much. And then this here I got from my daughter and my son-in-law for Mother's Day last year in 2021, and it is a banana croton. So it should have more of the yellowing on there, but it doesn't get a lot of light. That's why it doesn't look like this. But I like it. It's there. Whoops. Nope, I didn't. And then this is the African violet with the purple leaves taking a rust. And this is rescue number 3, I believe, 2 or 3, that is finally starting to grow me a beautiful leaf. And if we take her out of here, well, I guess I need to move her from under the shelf there. But she has this lovely root here, and I don't see any other roots inside, but I'm certain she's got more. But she's growing a leaf, so that is a good step along with that root. Here we have the Dendrobium lime green that I got as a freebie for one of my orders with Yoshi. That is still not doing anything, so it's in just a small bark mixture, and I water it probably every 2 weeks just to kind of keep some moisture in there. It has a few roots. I'm just waiting on a new growth. So that's why it's kind of over here in the more subdued light, so it doesn't get too stressed. And then my, oh my goodness, I can't remember it. ZZ plant. There we go. ZZ plant, which I've given away a lot of them, but I have a new growth here, as well as I noticed we have a new growth growing right there. So that's cool. My jewel orchid, the Ladicia discolor. If you remember, she was nice and big and full and lush. Well, during the 2 months when I wasn't filming and life got in the way, she kind of lost a lot of growth. So this is kind of what I was left with. But as you can see, she is slowly recovering. So I had to move her down into a smaller pot. And then we have this one here, which is the white phalaenopsis that started this leaf. This is right after the repot, and now is working on this nice leaf here. And I like putting rocks up underneath my orchids that don't have a strong root system to kind of help support and keep them steady. So when I do pick them up out of the pot, they're not wiggling too much. But let's see if we can see in there. I thought I saw a new root growing here, but she does have a new root where is it? There it is. So she's starting to grow some new roots, and she is in a bark and moss mixture. Oh, there's another root right there. That's actually a new root because she only had a few roots when I put her in here. And here is one of my Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus. It's one of them. But look how well she's done this year. She's just so big and fluffy. The one that I'm growing outside to see if it grew better outside or indoors is half the size. She's done half the growth. So next year she will be just inside. I won't put her back outside. Here we have Miss Unimpressive that got repotted into a bigger pot. She was starting new root growth, as you can see right here. So I was like, now's a good time. She's the one that was kind of leaning on the other pot with the pretty like pink purple flowers. I'll post a picture of her blooms, but she was very pretty. And now I'm just waiting on her to do her thing. Up here we have the Rhynchostylus gigantea. That this leaf is growing fairly fast. They're slow growers, but she's growing pretty fast. It was pretty small when I got it. Again, she's in a large bark and moss mix in this net basket. And then I keep a little bit of water down there just to create a little bit of humidity for her. And the leopard, the green leopard, that's what it is that I got from, let me pull the tag so you guys can see. So this is the green leopard, which is the love bourbon crossed with the Thospol spot. This new growth was developing, and she is now finishing that off along with some roots. And she does have other roots down in the pot sticking out. Let's see if we can see them. I don't want to pull her. I don't like pulling her out with one hand. I like to pull her out with two hands on either side so I don't break the roots that are in there. But isn't she cute? Just cute. And here we have Melstar, Paphiopedilum, that I repotted into a larger and deeper pot. She was starting to outgrow the other one. And these two new fans back here are doing well. And if I can get down in there, we have a new fan coming right here. I'm hoping she blooms again because her blooms are just absolutely beautiful. She's got this big, juicy yellow bloom. Just boom, just like the sun came down and sat on her. Beautiful. And excitingly, we have the Zygonesia Murasaki Komochi that I thought I had lost. She is in a all cocoa husk, and when I put her in here, this growth and this growth right here were beginning. So excuse me, they finished, but let's see if we can move her leaf. She now has this new growth. Here, let's just pull her out. It's hard to see with that leaf in the way, but she's got that new growth right there and a root ball just taking over this pot. So if this growth here decides it wants to bloom for me, I'm going to go ahead and let it now that it has roots. This one had tried to bloom. Well, I'm sorry, this one had tried to bloom, but I cut the spike off because she was way too weak. She hardly had any roots in there. Let's get her out. All right, the Phalaenopsis schilleriana, let's put her on the window, has, let's zoom in there, a new leaf growing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And of course she's got these aerial roots that are getting fairly long, and she's still, I can only still see the two roots right down in here and on the side, but I'm pretty certain she's got more roots in there. I'm just excited that she's holding on to her leaves as she's growing new growths, because that was a concern at one time. Here we have the gold staff that we just did the video on, update, starting to really lose her blooms. So I'll probably be cutting her, probably in another week. Unless this bloom starts falling off first, then once this bloom falls, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this spike. Let her concentrate on continuing this leaf growth and root growth and possibly getting me some more leaves so I can get that double spike I'm shooting for. We have a no ID Zygopedilum that I bought on the for my anniversary. I don't remember if I put that in that video or not, but she had started a new growth right here, and it just kind of stalled and didn't do anything. But I noticed today that she has this new growth coming here, so I will post her picture as well if I can find it. So down here we have the Dendrobiums back in the back, and I have them right here excuse me, underneath on the second to kind of give that dappled through the leaves of the tree light, because they are kind of like in the winter they like that brighter light. So once the cooler weather comes and the leaves start falling off the trees outside, I will move them up to a brighter light, or I will add a Barina light to make it a lot brighter down here. I haven't decided yet. But this one, let me move this jewel orchid out of the way real quick. This one here is the Dendrobium, oh, how do you say this? Hecbasunia. I've listened to it so many times and I can't get it right. But this is the one that's in the bonsai grit with small bark. And look at her growing. Like, those new growths are just really, really taking off. So that is just a beautiful. She may bloom for me this year. She is blooming size. I don't know if she will. She may still need to acclimate, so I may have to wait till next year. We'll wait and see. And then let's just pull this one from back here. This is the Dendrobium lavifolium variation Aurora. And look at her. Like, she's just throwing out new growth left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. I love it. And then she's in a moss, perlite, and bark mixture in here. And I do keep, so the rocks are about up to here. And I try to keep the water level of the rocks to here so that there's always moisture around her as well. This is the Phalaenopsis Pink Lucky. Let me just put her down here and carefully pull her out. But look at her roots. Like, she's just eating up the pot. But she can still stay in here for another year or so. I mean, she's still got room to grow some roots in there. But look at the aerial roots. Aren't they just gorgeous? And she's working on this leaf now for the season. This one right here, she did finish already, and now that's her second one of the season. And again, if she tries to bloom, I will cut it because I do want that double blooming. I'm being greedy. I shouldn't, but I am. I'm going to be greedy. Then my Dendrobium Second Love here, she has finished this growth right here and is now working on a second growth for the season. So I'm pretty excited about that. And she is maybe blooming size. She's old enough to bloom. Now, is she going to bloom? Who knows? Here we have another Paphiopedilum. That is the, which is this the Shinyi Heart? Again, if I can find the picture, I'll post it. And I've got her name tag right here because this leaf is so heavy, it keeps wanting to lay over. And I'm trying to keep the leaf from falling over, so I do have the tag right there to kind of help hold her up steadier. But she's got another leaf, so if she's going to bloom, once she's done with this leaf, she should put out a spike for me. We will wait and see. And one of the reasons I have her turned this way as well is I'm hoping that this leaf looks for the light behind her. So far it hasn't worked, but she's just gorgeous. I love this modeling on here. Just love the modeling. And we have this Macotes on this shelf as well. She's the one that is in the self-watering African violet tray pot. And she just has moss underneath the pebbles and I try to keep the water in there so that this stays damp at all times. I am thinking of moving her into a cloche type thing, or maybe like a terrarium. I know I've said that before. I'm still debating because she's still kind of trying to recover from her travels. She came in such poor shape. Actually, this is the second one. The first one that came looked horrible, so they sent me a replacement. But she's finished this leaf, And then she's grown this leaf in my care, and now she's working on this one right here. So fingers crossed she continues to recover, and then I will just decide what to do with her at that time. And on the bottom shelf, we have this Paphiopedilum here, which is the red apple. And I love the darkness and then the lime modeling on there. Isn't that pretty? But she finished off the leaf there to the left, and she should have some more leaves, one more leaf coming before she blooms, if she's going to rebloom. And then we have the Spring Pleasure right here, again with kind of the darker leaves and the lime green modeling. And I thought I saw a new fan on one of these. Maybe not. Nope, I did not. I lied. It's on the Macrobay Pops. I'll have to show you guys that another day. But isn't that pretty? I just love these. These are interesting even when they're not in bloom. They're not just green. Back there we have Sarai 2.0 that is still trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life. She's growing small leaves. She's got a few roots. I may just get another one. They're a dime a dozen at the grocery store, so I might just get another one and get a 3.0 until I get one that's really healthy. Back here I have the Phalaenopsis violacea crossed back to sibling, and I moved her from the Barina shells into here, into the lower, kind of lower light, because I think she's struggling, because I've had her as long as I've had the speciosa, and she's just not doing well. So I put her down here, kind of give her a rest from the bright light. I mean, she's finally starting to grow some roots in here that I can actually see. So I'm just going to leave her in here and let her kind of do her thing, live her best life, kind of in the bright shade. And then we have the Epilalia cattleya volcano trick, the red lava right here, that I've moved in here, and she has a couple of months to decide what she's going to do. So she has a little small growth right, I don't know if I can get it to focus. It's right down at the bottom, but I think I'm just going to have to throw her away and start over. I'm getting to the point now where rescue orchids are fine and they're fun, but some of them are just not worth it, and I'm beginning to think she's not worth it. So if nothing happens with this in, say, a week or so, 2 weeks, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to let her go, and then I'll just find another one. And I'm pretty sure I'm the one that did this. This is not the nursery's fault, because she came, she was very healthy, and I think I was giving her too much water, thinking they needed more water than Cattleya types, and I think I just drowned her roots out and ruined her chances. So I will try that one again, maybe. All right, well, let me get back up here, and we're gonna end it on the Schilleriana here. I am so happy she has this new leaf coming. Now here's the question. I do grow in a controlled environment, but this room here is, the temperature is not as controlled as the rest of the house. So I'm wondering, is she going to continue growing when it starts getting a little cooler in here, or is she going to continue growing for me? If she does kind of stall a little bit, I will move her in the living room where it's a little bit warmer, just so that she can continue growing that growth, because I need her to grow as many leaves and get as strong as she can so I can see those gorgeous blooms. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if there's something specific you want me to talk about. And we'll see you guys on LA next time. Have a beautiful day.